everybody, and welcome to episode number 242 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media. And this is a special day because Tyler Glasnow, he usually joins us from his palatial state in Southern California. Instead, he is back where it all started at the Major League level in Pittsburgh, PA. Hello, Tyler. How are you?
What's up? I'm good, man. How are you?
Now, I know it was the first time you pitched in Pittsburgh since the trade, but this isn't the first time you've been back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because, the Rays never went when I was there, or I would be, hurt before we would go. They had come to us before, but I'd never come back to Pittsburgh.
Oh, so is it kind of sentimental or not?
No, not for me, I guess. It's been so long, and it's such a different, the whole team is different. The coaches are all different. The only few people, Jordan, the bullpen catcher, Justin Message, the bullpen coach, was my minor league coach for a lot of years and in the big leagues. And then Mitch Keller's the only one I kind of know. I don't know a ton. And then McCutcheon, but it's just such a different team. So for me, it was just I'm going to play a team that I don't know anyone on.
Got it. Well, yeah. I will say this though, because people always ask me, hey, what's your favorite stadium? And I always tell them, well, Fenway and Wrigley are kind of separate. And then I tell them I love San Francisco, particularly day games in San Francisco. But the sleeper stadium is in Pittsburgh. I think it is is it a good place to play?
Yeah, it's top 5 for me, for sure. Even the last 2 games, the crowd has been insane. So when we were here, or when I played here, we sucked all the time. So we didn't have a lot of fans. They were kind of boycotting, I think the owner or whatever. They just never showed up. But it was crazy last year. I think because Skenes, and then Jones and stuff, I think just how that lined up, the crowd is that's the thing that I feel they're kind of deprived in a way. They love sports here so much and they want to have a good team every year. And I think every year, they don't sign or whatever, they just decide not to show up. But last night it was crazy and the fans are so involved. When Skenes pitched yesterday, it was the most I'd heard a crowd be involved with a starting pitcher. Every strike was yelling. They were very, very checked in. So the fans here are it's awesome. They'll also boo the home players, so you get your give and take, but they're involved. I enjoyed the games here the last 2 days.
Okay, you pitched in one, which I want to get to, but since you brought up Skenes, now you've seen him. Do you understand what all the fuss is about? And as a guy who does the same thing for a living, is it really that impressive?
Yeah, who's really, really, I think Jones is really impressive too, because his heater's very carry. Very hard to, you have to think a lot with Jones, because he has so many different, pitches and changes his speed. Skenes is disgusting too. There's no denying that. He throws 100 every pitch. His little splinker thing is 95. They're both really hard, and then the slider's good. Threw a couple changeups, a couple curveballs. I think for a hitter though, it's a lot of sit dead red for the most part, because he throws that splitter so much to righties, and then a lot of heaters. And then Jones has a pretty crazy repertoire with a lot of carry. So they're both really, really good, but both of them very impressive. Yeah.
I thought the 2 at-bats against Ohtani for Skenes were phenomenal. If you're just a baseball fan, right? He threw him 3 heaters in the first inning and got him striking out, which, I don't know if Ohtani will see 3 heaters in a single at-bat right out of the gate again this year. And then Ohtani made whatever adjustment he had to and turned on 100 and sent it over the center field wall. Is that a big deal in a major league, as big a deal in a major league dugout as it is for us baseball fans?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the thing. Ohtani sometimes will look kind of crazy because he has that really wild, hard aggressive swing on a heater. And I think a lot of guys, it's almost like the Miguel Cabrera effect. He used to look extreme. If someone threw him a slider or a heater, he would look extremely terrible on it. And just wow. And then he knows you're going to throw it to him again. And for kind of Ohtani does the same thing. He'll make a bad swing, whatever, quote unquote, bad swing, but always can make the adjustment. So I think I've seen it this year, especially, that anytime he does strike out or gets fooled on a pitch, I'm he just can make adjustments so quick. And I feel that, he started throwing a lot of heaters, and then whatever adjustment he made, then he hit the homer. But I just think I've seen that quite a few times this year. So he's just a great hitter, make good adjustments.
Hey, more of the show is coming your way, but I want to let you know that our friends at Ridge are back with an exciting new product. You can now get Ridge's signature wallets with your favorite MLB team logo on it. Their officially licensed debut collection includes not 1, not 5, not 10, all 30 baseball teams. Look at this bad boy. I love everything about it, right? You can hold up to 12 cards, Plus, you can carry cash if you're still a cash carrier. No problem with it whatsoever. It's also really solid. Listen to this thing. Okay? Nobody's messing with this thing. Like some of the old leathery wallets, they rip apart and then they look terrible. That does not happen with the Ridge wallet. It is perfect. And it's perfect just in time for Father's Day because it is right around the corner. And you're always like, what do I get my old man? I know my kids are always like, seriously, Dad, what in the world are we going to get you? Well, now, since I've already got one, they got to go put their thinking caps on. But you don't have to. The wallets, they are so good. Don't take my word for it. There are over 100,000 5-star reviews. I've already shown you. Durable material, also comes with a lifetime warranty. And if for some reason, I haven't met anybody like this, but if for some reason you don't like it, after 99 days, you can send it back, no questions asked. So head on over to ridge.com/JohnBoy. Go pick up yours today. They're offering markdowns of up to 30% off in time for Father's Day. That is the big 3-0 for Father's Day. Head on over to ridge.com/JohnBoy. You'll thank us later. I watched your start on Tuesday very closely. 9 more strikeouts. First guy to 100 this season. Is that a big deal for you?
I think, yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it's, I guess up to this point, it's good. It'd be cool to like keep it throughout the year, but I think it's more, I just want to keep pitching good. Strikeouts I'm not going to act like I don't care about strikeouts. I love strikeouts, but I think it's more about just like keeping the consistent, like pitching good, trying not to give up runs, like the whole collection of pitching for sure. But I do think when I look on the stat thing and I'm at the top, it's a good feeling for sure.
Like for a guy, and we've talked about this, who's trying to build up his innings, and you've done a remarkable job doing that so far. Like, is 200 a goal? Is it 250? What is it in your
strikeouts or innings?
Yeah, no, strikeouts.
I think the minimum I would like to get 200. I think that's always kind of like the number you try to get to if you're like a strikeout pitcher. So 200, and then I think I'm on pace to get there. So I think just keep doing start. I hope I get to 200, and then once I get to 200, it's all like icing on the cake, I guess. I just want to keep on kind of staying on the same pace.
I also watched your post-game press conference on Tuesday. And you pitched well. You gave up one freaking run, a Zawinski home run, and that was it. And somebody brought up the stat that in your last 5 starts, the Dodgers have not scored while you have physically been in the game. Do you remember what you said in response to that? Made me laugh.
Yeah. I think it was like baseball's hard. The first like 6 or so games that I pitched, I feel like they scored like 10 runs. So I think it's just evening out.
Baseball is hard. It's weird though. It is weird that like you've been, so you weren't cognizant of that fact prior to Tuesday, or did you know that, hey, they didn't?
No, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I wasn't really aware. I think too, it's all kind of blended in because in the beginning of the year, it was like, wow, every time I pitched, so much run support. Like, so I just think it is one of those things where it does kind of have to even out. I just think it's just a random, that's how baseball is. It's just such a game of like statistics and like however, can't get too high, can't get too low. It just seems like it's all going to even out at some point. And like it'll all even itself back out. I think within like the 30 start year, a lot of crazy stuff happens, but at the end of the year, you kind of look and like if you were to look at the total amount of run support I've had from all of my 13 starts, it's probably pretty average. You know what I mean? From having high to low. And then by the end of the year, it'll be like, so it's just one of those weird things that's kind of going on with baseball, I guess, or just like kind of a random series of events at this point.
I get it. I am curious though, because you're a really good team guy, and I love that about you. I think you had a start in San Diego where maybe you were down 1-0 or something when you left the game, but the Dodgers ended up scoring that half inning and took you off the hook. Does that change the way you feel like when you're not on the hook for an L?
It definitely, that's the thing that changes. I know that I won't get an L at the end of the game for sure. I think a lot of it is mostly about like, especially in those close games, I don't necessarily care. Like you always want to get a win, but it's mostly about just like hoping that you can come back and win the game. Like after the point, it's like, all right, I'm out of the game. I'm not going to get the win, whatever. I'm also not going to get the loss. Tight. That's cool. And then it's like, let's just win. Like that's all you really kind of care about. But yeah, I think as a starter, obviously you want to get wins. You don't want to get losses. And then you just want to win the game. So it's kind of like in that, you know what I mean? Like no particular order, but yeah, it's nice to have wins and a little amount of losses.
When you come out of a game, let's say you've gone 6 or 7 innings, what do you do right afterward? Do you go into the clubhouse? Do you get what happens physically?
I'll go in and get it's like a little protein shake and then like a recovery drink type of thing and like some water or whatever. And then I'll go in and do my arm exercises, like external rotation stuff. I've just did this 100 times as hard as I could. So I'm trying to like get my stabilizers kind of, I'll just get like, extension. So I'll just do a couple arm exercises to kind of even things out. And then I just chill and I'll go back in the dugout if I have time, or I'll sit inside and watch the game and then be done. And then I start my routine like the following day after. But it's just a couple arm exercises and some recovery stuff, and then that's it.
How tired are you after 104 pitches? And let's say it's a little warm out. Like, how exhausting is that for a human being?
It's like the opposite of exhausting. It's like I'm so stimulated I can't turn my brain. Like it's to a point where it's like you get to like 40, 45 pitches and you're kind of like, and then something like you get into like an anaerobic state. It's like if you ever like run long distance and you get like a runner's high or whatever, you know what I'm talking about though.
No, I don't.
All right, well you can imagine or like pretend. You just get into this like I think it's like your body's like, all right, I guess we're fucking doing this. I guess we're gonna keep on going. And it's like every time I get like the third or fourth inning, my body just like I don't have this like after the first inning I come into the dugout and you kind of have this like, all right, I get my legs going. I gotta keep going. Second inning, the same thing. Third inning, kind of like, all right, I gotta like keep it whatever. And then for whatever reason, after a certain amount of pitches, your body just becomes like rubber. I just become very like loose. I don't even have to like do any sort of warm up. My body's like firing and like ready to go. And I don't, it's just weird. You get in like an anaerobic state. And then by the seventh or whatever inning, I feel like I can keep pitching and pitching and pitching. And then even later when I do my arm exercises, my body's like not tired. It's really weird. I feel like I have like a lot of strength. And then that night it's hard to sleep. The next day, my body's still very like rubbery and like loose. I have no soreness. I don't feel anything. Like they'll go and do soft tissue and be like, wow, everything feels phenomenal. And I'm like, just you wait till the next day. And then the following day is when like soreness and stuff sets in. It's never crazy, but for some reason, when you get to that state, like your body's so hot or like my body thinks I'm like about to go to war. I don't know what it is, but something happens. And that day and then the following day, I feel fucking great. And then the next day, it's like, all right, now back to reality.
Do you ever get hungry on the mound?
No, never. I can't eat. I can't even eat the day I start. Like I'll try to wake up in the morning and I'll have like a bigger breakfast. And then I won't eat like 6 or 7 hours before my start. If anything, maybe I'll have like a banana or something just to try to put something in my stomach. But I don't. And then like that night too, I like chug that protein shake. I try to make it like really high in calories because I just can't eat. And then maybe later that night at like 2 in the morning, maybe I can eat. But I usually just like don't. It's really hard.
You can't go to sleep after you play, huh?
No, it's impossible. It's so hard. I go to bed at like, especially if it's a night game and I pitch well. If I pitch bad, I'm pretty good about like, man, I can kind of go to sleep. But if I do well, I'm so like stimulated and like my brain is just like on another, it's nuts. So I go to bed at like, it's been better this year. But like sometimes like 4 a.m. usually or like 2 to 4 a.m. And then it's terrible sleep. It's like go to bed, wake up an hour, go to bed, wake up, go to bed, wake up, go to bed, wake up. And then it evens back out throughout the week. Like the next day I'll sleep really well and then I'll be fine.
Are you one of these guys that throws every day?
No. I'll go like the day after I pitch, I don't throw at all. I do a mobility program at BMAC. I'll get some manual therapy done if I need it. The next day I'll throw light, like pretty light, and then bullpen day I'll get it going. After the bullpen day, I'll throw really light and then I'll pitch. So I throw hard one day a week.
So we're taping this on a Thursday. Your next start is Sunday Night Baseball against the New York Yankees, which will be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that
Yeah.
momentarily. So your bullpen will be Friday in New York, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
And how long do you go?
I throw like 10, 15 pitches. I get to like max speed. I get to as hard as I can throw, and then I get on the mound and I throw like game speed for 10 to 20, let's say. And now that I'm on a 5-day, I don't have 2 days off. I'll throw like 10, 12 pitches. I'm not out there trying to like I just think there's a certain point when I was younger, it was a lot about like you would take the week into like trying to get reps and practice and learn your timing. Now it's like I know what my mechanics are. Some days are good, some days are bad. I don't need to like over do too many reps to try to get it. I don't need to like prove to myself every day that I have like perfect timing. It's more about like longevity and get like hit my staples, hit what I need to hit, make sure my body feels good, make sure I can get to like the ranges I need to, and then just shut it down. Like I'm not really out here like trying to, like I guess in the minor leagues, you're trying to like every single day like work on something. But now it's like I know myself enough to just like try to limit my reps.
Yeah, but are you like when I used to golf and I just go to the range or whatever? You can't leave the range on a
No,
shitty shot.
that's what I mean. Like that's what every baseball player has to try to manage. It's like the OCD of like I need to be perfect. But in the minor leagues, I threw so much like because I'm trying to prove to myself, okay, it's like one day Monday my mechanics feel awesome, and then Tuesday they don't really feel like that. So the goal is let's get it back to how it felt Monday, and then I'm 120 throws in, and I'm like, I think I just made myself worse. Now I feel way off. I don't feel like I did Monday. And then Wednesday's bad because I did too much Tuesday. It's like finding the balance to where now it's like, all right, I've done what I need to do. My mechanics today don't feel great, but I know what good mechanics feel like. I just can't get them today. Like, and I don't need to overcook it to try to get to it. And then it's the next day, it's like, I'm well rested enough to be like, all right, now I feel like I did on Monday. And like, I'm just trying to always get back to my good mechanics, but you have to come to an understanding that that's the perfection every day is like unachievable. And you're better off just like whatever. And I think early on too, like what you're saying in the minor leagues, like when I needed to try to find my perfect mechanics, I almost needed to practice every day. And I use that time to figure it out. But I think I've done it for so long now that like I have I know what feels good. And then some days I can just accept that like today's not my day and then I'll go get them tomorrow type of thing.
It's interesting. So I'm just doing the rough math in my head. Let's say you average 100 pitches for 2 starts this week. Let's just say on Tuesday and on Sunday against the Pirates and Yankees, you throw 200 pitches total. And you have two bullpens, one last Sunday and one this Friday. And you throw another 25 or 30 pitches. That's 230 pitches, 260 pitches, let's say, throughout the week. No wonder position players hate you guys.
Why? What do you mean?
Like,
oh, like in terms
this
of
is what we
workload
do.
and like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No.
I definitely feel like like if I'm on the bench, I throw like we have so many starters this year and so many off days built in that I'll be on like a 6 day or a 7 day. I haven't gone on a 5 day this year, so I definitely think there's like the position player, especially if you have a guy who's struggling and like play every other day or play like every day, and I'm just sitting on the bench like just like fuck you guys. Like they got to go do early work and they got to go in the cage. They have to like always try to feel there, and they have to do that mental marathon of like trying to feel perfect every day, but also managing workload. And then they look over and I'm just like, hi, I'm just sitting on the bench, just like, and then you'll watch for 3 to 4 innings and you'll go inside, get like work done, or I'll get like manual therapy done during the game, then come back out. And it's just like, ugh. It definitely, I think it's probably the easiest in terms of like workload for sure.
Not
It's
saying
got
it's
its
an
own,
easy
it's got
job.
its pros and cons. No,
Of
definitely
course.
not. But it's definitely like the only time it sucks a lot is when you're like consistently struggling for a few starts in a row, and
Yeah.
now you've strung together a month of you just sitting there not being able to redeem yourself. That's the only time it sucks.
It's getting hot out. We're here in June. Got to take care of your pooches out there. And I got the perfect way to do it. Go pick up dog food from the farmer's dog. It is developed with vets. It is made fresh from real meat and veggies. It's perfectly portioned for your dog, and it's delivered right to your door. It isn't just fresh, higher quality food. As I mentioned, it's pre-portioned because so many times you sit there and you look at the bowl and you look at the food and you're like, how much do I give my beautiful dog, Sydney? Well, the farmer's dog, they send you material, food. It actually says Sydney's name on it, and it's perfectly portioned so you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting or the thinking. It's taken care of. All you do is head on over to thefarmersdog.com. It'll take you less than 5 minutes to fill out a questionnaire. It's the basic stuff. What breed your dog is, how old your dog is, what it usually eats, how much exercise it gets, and voila, in a few days, you have your order from the farmer's dog. There's all sorts of benefits. Obviously, dietary, like there's better poops. And if you are a dog owner, you know how important that sort of stuff is. Also easier digestion. better skin, and their fur coat is healthier. Their breath is better because sometimes you can love your dog as much as possible, and you're petting them like this, and all of a sudden you're like, dang, man, can we get you a mint or something? That does not happen here with the farmer's dog. So it doesn't matter whether you're just starting out with a little puppy or you've got an aging pooch, much like myself. It's always the right time to begin investing in their health. Help keep the dog healthy and playing ball with half off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/rose. Plus, you get free shipping, which is a big deal because that is a big-time box, not one of these little tiny Tiffany boxes. Head on over to thefarmersdog.com/rose. Get half off today, plus free shipping. At the end of the day, your dog will look up and say, "I love you, Daddy. Thank you." Roof. Let's get on to your big day last Saturday, which corresponded with the high school graduation of my youngest son, Brady Rose. That's why we couldn't attend Tyler Glasnow bobblehead night. That was a big day for you, my friend.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, overall, because your parents were there, your girlfriend Megan was there. What was the best part of the day for you?
I think maybe game time, and like I had a lot of cousins and friends and family and stuff there, so they were all like the club seat. Like my mom, dad, Megan, and my cousin Chelsea were on the field, and then like above me in the family section was like a lot of my family. So that was cool going out and seeing them. The first pitch was cool. My dad doing the "It's time for Dodger baseball" was really cool because I knew he was gonna just go off script and just do some like yeah.
Here,
This was really funny.
Let's hold on. Here, yeah. Let's listen to this, Rob.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
What was that?
I don't know. He just always does weird shit like that. It's hilarious. When I was growing up, he would always do stuff like that, just like freestyle, like make whatever. So it was hilarious. And we got up there, and whoever was down there was like, "Yeah, just say it's time for Dodger baseball." And he's like, I got it. We're like, stick to the script, Dad. And he's like, "Yeah, okay." He just has no like. It's hilarious. He's the least anxious person I've ever met. Like even to like my brother's wedding. This is kind of off topic, but on topic at the same time. I was like stressing about the best man speech forever. My dad didn't plan for a second. It just goes up there and just like just starts to freestyle and kills it. Like he's just good at that stuff. He doesn't have like a weird. He's just always himself all the time and just goes and does random shit like that. It's hilarious. But I knew it was very on brand. I was sitting there watching it, me and Megan, and we both just started laughing. It was awesome.
I loved him. So, I am still in contact with your parents a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love them. They're awesome people. I got a little bit of a stern talking to from your father. Do you know this?
No.
Yeah. When we had your brother on the show, it was like, you were mean to Ted. I think I was just saying stuff about like jokingly saying like what it's like to be the less superior athlete or whatever, even though he was a decathlete at Notre Dame and this wonderful athlete as well. I was having fun, kind of the weird way that I do. He was like, "You were taking shots at Ted." I was like, "Oh God."
No, that's so funny. I bet he's the only one who thought that too. Ted certainly didn't think so. That's hilarious though. I actually do remember that. Maybe you told me that a long time ago. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was good. It was interesting. And then Megan got to throw out the first pitch to you.
Yeah. So on your bobblehead day, you get to pick who did it. And Megan's been with me all year long, and like we like play catch randomly and stuff. I was like, this is perfect. And then even before this, when I told her that she was doing it, we had a couple of practice sessions outside, and even leading up to that day, you could tell like she was getting nervous. She would like wake up in the morning all early and be like, "I can't sleep." So we'd go outside and like practice, and then when I would go to the field, like my parents were staying with us, and she's like, "Let's go out and practice before we go to the field." So she was just like always trying to throw, and she did a great job. She's a pretty good athlete, so she figured it out and she threw a strike.
And she did the whole Glasnow, whatever the hell this thing is with you, and that was good.
Yeah, it was. She did a good job.
And how is the actual bobblehead itself? Because I mean, hopefully, I'm going to get one to put on my desk here.
Yeah, they gave me a bunch. I'll give you some. I have like a ton at home. They gave me like a few boxes. It's cool. It's just like me and my leg lift, and I'm smiling. I don't smile when I leg lift, but it's a good bobblehead. It is. They did a good job, and it's also pretty sturdy. Like I've had a couple that are like a little more flimsy at the ankle, and they'll like break. This one's like pretty secure.
They got the high socks, and they killed the hair. The hair, I think, is is dead on.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Huh. I think overall
It's
that's
cool.
nice.
Definitely cool to have a bobblehead at your home stadium. It's sweet. I think it was like Santa Clarita Day as well. So I saw a lot of people that I'd known growing up, like throughout the stands. It was really cool.
Didn't Hart High School, where you went to school, didn't a bunch of kids come
Yeah, they
down?
were there. The baseball team was on the field and got recognized on that day too, and got put on like the jumbotron. And I went out there early and like signed some stuff, took some pictures. It was cool. They won the CIF championship too, Division II, the last year Ozella was there, which is pretty sick. So it was a really good way to send him off into retirement. It was a pretty awesome final year for him.
So there are people who probably know a little bit about Hart High School based on the little controversy that they had against Moore Park in the championship game. Jimmy broke it down, where Moore Park was down by a run with 2 outs to go, and there was a kid that hit the ball down the left field line, and at first it was called a home run, and it would have been a walk-off for Moore Park, so they're celebrating the Division II championship. Then they all get together, and they realized, oh, wait, maybe the ball hit on the warning track and then jumped over the wall for a ground rule double, and that's what they ended up saying. And then the last kid got out on a pop-up, and there was just a lot of controversy. I'll be honest with you. Did you watch that video when it first came out?
So that's the thing. I saw when it first happened, I saw a video, and it was like not of the actual, it was not of like the stadium camera. It was like someone filming, and it showed the ball going over the fence, but that was like a fake video. It looked, and then you get to the one that's like an actual video of like the back. This might be the fake one, or so. Hold on, go back.
Yeah, the ball disappears, or looks like it.
Yeah, so then there's another stadium camera that shows the ball bounce at like clear. So I was on the camp of like, oh damn, that was a home run, and they missed it. And then I saw a video, a different angle than this. See, this is like a dad's camera. There's one of like an actual stadium camera. See that ball? Like, it looks like it changes direction. There's a video I found, or someone was showing me at the field. Our trainers were like up on all the drama, and it clearly bounces on the warning track and goes over. And I was like, oh no, that's a homer. And then I saw that video. And initially, I think the umpire, when it first happened, calls a ground rule double, and then the outfielder was like waving his hands, like very instinctually, like it hit the dirt. But there's that video looks like a homer. But there's another video of like the actual stadium camera that it shows the bounce like very, very clearly. So I don't know what video is real, what's not. But that video looks like a homer. But the other one I saw is like for sure hits the warning track.
Okay, but I would have, if you saw the entire Hart baseball team, I would have said, hey, where's the left fielder? Pull him aside and say, what really happened? Did it bounce?
Yeah, I guess I remember talking to Coach Ozell about it too. He's like, dude, that guy, like he instinctually threw his hands up, hit the warning. He's like, he's not going to sit there and pretend, think that far ahead and be like, oh, that's not a home run. Like, I think if a ball goes over the fence, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? You kind of shrug it off. But he's like, yo, it hit the ground. And Ozell was like, that guy's not out there faking it. He's not out there lying about it being a home run. And I think the umpire, initially too, thought it was a ground rule double. And I think they met and then talked about it. But I want to find that other video and see like the ball that hit the dirt.
This might be it, huh?
It was a different angle.
It's impossible. But
in the shadow, it is kind of gnarly.
Yeah, I felt for those kids. This is the broadcast of it.
This was the broadcast of it. The one where you can see the ball was that dad's phone, but it's so small and subtle, but you can see if you go frame by frame. It's so small though.
Yeah,
I remember there's another video though.
I mean, could you imagine though being Moore Park?
Yeah,
being told it's a home run, you celebrate like you win, and then you have to go back out and you have to have a critical at bat with runners on and 2 outs.
That's nuts.
That's just a rough way to go. Rough way to go.
I wish there was like a more clear, precise video.
Yeah, well, listen, the way the world works. There's worse things than losing in the championship game. It just stinks that that's the way it rolled out.
Yeah.
A few things for you. You obviously know all about pitching in Yankee Stadium. What are you drinking, by the way? What do you got?
Just a cold brew.
Okay.
Whiskey in the morning.
Nice.
I'm getting blacked out before I go to the field.
Perfect. Well, we already established you don't have to do anything, so it's fine. Let's go watch some baseball. You have really good seats, I heard.
I got to lift today, so I can't get hammered in the morning.
It could make lifting really fun.
Yeah, maybe. That could be true.
What are we doing? Back and buys or chest and tries?
Just lower body, a little something, a little mobility / lower, and then tomorrow's upper and a bullpen.
Are we flushing it out? Are we running?
No, that's for the birds. That's all old school stuff.
Nobody does running anymore?
Not really. There's ways to like sweat it out and stuff, but not like doing the pounding of running. I really love running. I just feel like my body feels better if I don't. I just have other ways of getting my heart rate up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you were in the American League East, you have pitched countless times at Yankee Stadium, so it's not. But do you think it will be different? Now, this is going to air after your Sunday night start. Do you think it'll be different throwing in a Dodger uniform at Yankee Stadium?
No, I think, but like things will be different. Like maybe the crowd will be a little bit more into it and stuff. But like the biggest thing I've noticed this year is, I think before I got to the Dodgers, I'm like, wow, this is going to be so much different than like a small market team to a big market team. There's going to be so many crazy differences, and the only difference is stuff that's off the field. Like actually playing, it's surprisingly exactly the same. Like no matter what the crowd is, maybe the warm-ups, people are a little louder or whatever in the bullpen, but like it's the exact same thing. I'm not thinking any differently. It's just exactly the same. And then when you come off the field, there's a few more cameras and a few more stuff. And I'm sure there's people who like a lot more comments and stuff, but I don't really I think for the most part, if you're just focusing on the baseball, it's surprisingly exactly the same, but it's just a little bit more like intense, like crowd noise. But while you're pitching, you don't really even notice it.
How is the coverage of Shohei around the team on a daily basis? Is it really that intense?
That's a thing too. Like it's the same. Like when the media is in there, the players aren't like we're always in the middle of our workday, so it's not like after the games they'll ask Shohei, but he kind of does his interviews outside, like in the press conference, because everyone wants to talk to him, and then he comes in. So it's not even that different. It doesn't seem that crazy. And then I don't really go online and look a lot. Like I guess normally if you were to be on Twitter all the time, you'd see all the people like writing stuff and comments and everything. But for the most part, like I don't know how any other people do, but I don't have a Twitter. I don't it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Like you see there's a lot more cameras, but I don't like go see all the articles and stuff being written. So in my mind, it just doesn't seem that crazy. It's like, all right, a few more people asking questions and then that's it. And then it's the next day. That's really the only difference.
Okay, I get it. The Dodgers, as we speak, 7-game lead over the Padres in the West. You're playing .600 baseball, and everybody keeps saying, what the hell's the matter with the Dodgers? Do you guys feel like, yeah, we're playing okay, or are you okay with where the season stands after 9 weeks?
I think we're all aware that the past few, we had that series against the Mets, and then before that, bad series against the Reds, not doing well right now. Like we're all aware, like our whole team is like, we're not playing very well, but I think it's more like, don't panic. Like we know that we're the Dodgers. We know we're good. Baseball it's streaky every year. There's some ups and downs and stuff. And I think you can use the beginning part of the season to like understand where you need help and where you don't. And you kind of just analyze from there. I think once you play baseball long enough too, you realize like the more you sweat, like, oh no, we're not playing well, that doesn't fix anything. I think it's about, we know that we have a good team. You just have to keep going. Like there's always ruts, but you just have to like kind of put the blinders on and take each day for what it is. Even though that's a boring answer, but like that's the most realistic way to go about it. Like we're not freaking out, but we do realize like we want to play better. Jeez, my headphones are falling out.
I'm either going to get you new earbuds.
I've left mine at the field. I'm using Megan's right now.
Oh my God. You left yours at the field?
I left everything at the field, dude. No mic, no computer, no nothing.
That's okay. You've done very well here so far.
All right, good.
All right, I got a few other things. There's a series in London this weekend. Of course, it will have been over by the time we air. Phillies and Mets going over there. I know you talked earlier this season about how draining it was to play in South Korea to open the year there and all that. Let's say you weren't pitching. Would you like to go on the trip to London just to see how they reacted? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to. That's all the thing, though. It's like when you're playing all the time, and then like, what's the time change to London? Like, it's not crazy, right? It's not like Korea. It's not 12 hours.
Well, it's 5 hours, I believe, from the East Coast. So from the West Coast, it's 8 hours.
And it's both it's the Phillies and the Mets, right? So it's just a 5-hour difference. It's not awful. That's not terrible. Like I think it sucked for us because it was so like it was a complete flip flop.
Yeah.
to where like it took like I was like in a daydream the entire time I was there. Even like pitching, I was just like, what the fuck am I? Like, what is going on? Like, to where London is a little closer to the time to where, you know what I mean? Like if you're playing, it's not that much different, but the traveling, it's also what, from New York, 6 hours? That's not crazy. It's the same as like a LA to New York trip.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more, that's not that crazy. It's just maybe like a new surrounding. But, yeah, I'm sure the guys are like, fuck, like it's exciting, but it's also like, all right, this is kind of a lot. But I would have loved to go on that trip. That would be sweet.
Don't you guys get paid extra for playing overseas?
Yeah, we got. I don't know how much we got. Maybe Korea was like 70 or something like that. I don't know how much the London series is. I think it's all about like how much money's generated or how much they like assume they'll bring in, and then you get like a portion of it. I don't know, but you do get paid extra to go, which is a good incentive to go. But I think, and I don't want this to make. I think a lot of guys on those teams are rich enough to not care. I think they're just like, I'd rather stay home.
Absolutely. Wouldn't.
Yeah.
By the way, it must be very nice to not know exactly how much you got paid when we're talking about $70,000, like whatever it is.
I did know, but it just seemed weird for me to be like, I didn't really want to say the number, but then I said it.
But who cares? So what?
I know.
You listen, dude. You've earned everything that you are getting. You should never feel badly about it. I feel bad that we know your contracts. I'll be honest with you. Because I don't know what. I mean, you can find out what guys who are and women get when they're in publicly traded companies. I think the rule is you have to list what the top 5 people, whatever it is. I know that you can have access to that. I don't think it's fair. People don't know what I make. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's weird kind of how that goes down. I think like the give and take, like the trade-off, everyone would rather, like if you could take the scenario of like, you're going to make a lot of money, but people know how much you make, or they don't know how much you make and you don't make it. It's like, it's fine. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's annoying. Some people know, but I think also too with it's saying like, talking about Korea being like, I was jet lagged and like, it was hard to pitch and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, but I also got $70,000 to do. That's when it's like a little, shut up. It's fine. Like, you're a little tired. It's okay. Like, that's what I get a little hesitant on. Like, I'm not lost on the idea that like, I sound like a bitch if I'm talking about how tired I am when they give me money to go play a game in a different country. So,
all right. I got to rip through these. I got about 8 more minutes here with you, but I really want to hit some of these. Did you see the video of Cosmic Baseball that they did? This college team or minor, I forget what it was. They are playing with. Look at this video.
No, this is crazy.
Yeah, so it's glow in the dark. They went black lights. They went glow in the dark uniforms, bases.
Wow,
baseball.
That's kind of cool.
All right, they don't worry. They did put the pitcher behind an L screen. Would you have any interest in playing in a game like this?
In like a big league game or just like for fun?
Let's just say for fun.
I would, that'd be sick. I would do this. That actually looks really cool.
Okay.
It might be tough to, maybe your eyes, like right now, it seems a little hard to like hit the zone because like it's so dark, but maybe when you're out there, like your eyes are adjusted and it's a little easier. It seems like it might be easier for the hitter too. Like the ball's so light. That might be like an easier thing to pick up. You don't need like a batter's eye and like the ball's a lot more illuminated. I think that's kind of sick. I would do that. All Next right, London series, let's hit it.
I will tell you this. Nobody wants to hit against you in the dark.
It might be an advantage though. You know what I mean? Like if you a white ball during the day versus a neon glowing ball at night, maybe it's a little bit of a, you know? But I don't know I don't think you can see spin though. So maybe not.
Can't see spin. That would be a problem. All right, next thing. I know you're not a huge NFL fan, but there's 2 really good players. C.J. Stroud, he's a quarterback for the Houston Texans. Micah Parsons is an outstanding linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. They went on some tour, I believe, over in Tokyo together. They had this conversation. This is Micah Parsons talking about trying to hit major league pitching. I want you to listen.
If you played in 162 MLB games, 5 at-bats every game, how many hits do you think you could get?
I think I get about 200. No.
The pitchers are that good. You might get 25, 30.
162. That ain't right.
Penn State education. His math is terrible.
Hold on, let me do the percentages because I think I can go about 200.
Oh, he's crazy.
Like average 200.
You're gonna average 200?
Like in a season, like I have.
We're gonna give you an Astro jersey.
179 last year.
That was a bad year for him. What's his average? No, what was his average though? See, that's what I'm saying. I think I could be about 180 to 200.
Okay.
I mean, okay, what?
Well, what's your reaction? Go ahead.
I would say first I'd have to look at did he ever play baseball? Because no, he could get if he had a 500 at bats, 5 hits.
That's what I said.
Yeah, 5 hits for sure. I don't think I think once he steps in and sees like a big league, like he'd be like, oh, never mind. Like you know what I mean? I think it's good to have the confidence. I appreciate the confidence, but 5 hits maybe.
What would you start him? What would you start? Now, Micah Parsons is a large human being. I've interviewed him several times, and he is a stud. Like, dude can run like the wind. So I think he could hit a couple of toppers, a couple of
true.
runs.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Give him 10
But that's it.
You're right.
Still, that's included in the 5 hits for me. There's no way he's barreling something up. He might get a jam shot here or there, but he's going to get like 1 hit a month. What would you? How would you start him out?
What, pitching?
Yes.
Just throw him heaters probably, and I don't think he'd ever hit it. And then once he kind of starts to get adjusted, then I'd throw him like a slider or in like you don't even need to really have an approach. It's such a hard even when I hit, and then it's like so say in AA, you start hitting in the minor leagues, and I hit in high school or whatever. Like you're used to seeing fastballs and whatnot, and then I remember the day I had to go to AA and like hit off a curveball machine. I swung and missed on the machine 30 times in a row. It's just like it's foreign to your your eyes. Like you don't know how to it doesn't make any sense. Like my brain didn't know how to calculate how to hit the ball to where it's like a heater, fine, you'll get adjusted maybe, and then anything moving, there's just no chance. And then if you're around the zone at all, it's just too hard. You need to have too many reps and too much time to figure out how to do it. To have to be thrown into a major league, I just don't even think. The foul tips would probably be limited as well. But if people threw him fastballs, he'd have a chance. And I think because they know he doesn't play baseball, he'd probably get a lot of fastballs.
Do you think Micah Parsons has a better chance of hitting one of your fastballs, or you have a better chance of running away from Micah Parsons on a blitz?
Oh, I think that we're probably pretty even on how sucky both of us would be. To me, running away of him blitzing me, trying to and I'm trying to run away.
Yeah,
it would depend on how good my line is, and so. I think there's other factors there. I think it'd be pretty even. I think I'm closer to running than he is hitting but you know what I mean? I've run and done track and stuff like that. I'm relatively fast. Nowhere near an NFL player. I would die. I would get crushed. But he's never played baseball. That's such a skill-based sport. And people who play baseball have run more than how Michael Parsons has hit a baseball. You know what I mean? But I'd say maybe I have a tiny bit of an advantage, but he would kill me. I probably would die.
Off season, let's set it up. Micah Parsons.
I'm not fucking letting that guy tackle me ever. No. Maybe the baseball thing we can do.
Let's do the baseball thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a little safer maybe not for Micah, but it is.
I'm not going to hit him. It's more about just, I'm not I don't hit dudes. So I'll be pretty good around the zone.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
All right. I really appreciate this. It's always fun catching up with you. Go kick some ass on Sunday night baseball. Get back here. We still have to do a dinner. I feel bad. When you guys have a day off, I don't want to bother you, but we'd love to be able to take you guys out to dinner one night.
Yeah, we got to figure out a day to do that. If not in season, we'll do it in the off season. Because every off day I get, it's either a travel day, and I live by the beach. It's fucking forever probably to get to your house and back.
We want to come. We're old people. We want to get out. You gotta understand.
We'll have to figure out something for sure. An off day or a day, a night game, or a day game to a night game the next day or something.
Where you're not pitching or doing anything.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, tell your family hello. Thank you so much for making some time. Travel safely and continued success as well, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it, dude.
Shout out to our amazing producer, Robbie Scirocco. Our summer intern, Tommy Young, is doing a bang-up job as well. That is Tyler Glasnow, Micah Parsons' new baseball best friend. I am Chris Rose. We will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.